Thank you for having us today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Melissa Wire. I belong to TED. This year, I just started working for the SUN program, so I've been learning the ins and outs. And I'd also like to introduce one of our board members.
I'm Justin O'Brien. I've been on the SUN board for 6 years. And I'll tell you, Melissa's doing a great job filling in here. We had our director retire, and Melissa has stepped up as interim director for now. But we have some economic issues we're going to be telling you about. We'll give you a little bit of history, too. I'll let Melissa take it here.
I guess I first wanted to let you know, the SUN program, some people call it Meals on Wheels, which is basically what it is. But our mission at the SUN program is to support and assist seniors ages 60 and over by providing hot, nutritious meals, home delivered or in a group setting, and to promote good nutrition and fellowship, reduce isolation, and to provide prevention programming to assist in maintaining independence and involvement in the community. We're really trying to help older people improve their nutrition, become involved with other people, really kind of try and get together and be self-sufficient and independent in their homes as long as they can be. The nutrition is only part of it. We're so much more than that. Like a week and a half ago, our Dodgeville site director was filling in on one of the routes, and she went to deliver a person's meal, and they didn't come to the door. And they're a person that's always right there when the meal comes, and she thought, this just doesn't feel right. Reached out to the emergency contact that we have listed for everyone. They didn't answer. And so she went, oh. And she ended up calling the police department to do a welfare check. They came. The lady had fallen that morning and had been laying on the floor for 2-3 hours. If we hadn't been there to deliver the meal and, catch on that this was unusual, who knows, how long she would have laid there. But she got help, got to the hospital. She's doing okay. And that's really why we're here, to help. Our program started in 1977. The federal program actually started in 1973. So we were a couple years behind that. We are actually a nonprofit corporation. We're not ran by the county, but we are advised by the county. We currently are serving 10 communities in Iowa County by way of 3 different meal sites. So they're very busy. And we also serve 6 Lafayette County communities by way of 5 meal sites. There's a lot of double duty going. For instance, our Linden site, they serve Linden, Cobb, Highland, Avoca, and Mineral Point. So we've got quite an area. And Dodgeville services Ridgeway and Barneveld as well. And our Darlington site services Argyle. So we cover a lot of ground on a given day. We do have, out of our 8 actual sites, 6 of them have the opportunity where seniors can go in and actually eat a meal and be together. We currently have 12 paid employees. We have 6 board members, 3 from each county. We've got about 60 volunteers. And honestly, we couldn't do it without the volunteers. And we've got some here, and you guys are great, and we just appreciate everything you do so much. We couldn't do it without you. Last year, we served about 50,000 meals to approximately 467 people between the 2 counties. Our current meal cost for a person that wants to dine in is $5.50. And if you get a home delivered meal, it's $6.50. Pretty economical. Our real cost for those meals are $14.30 each. So we rely on whatever funding we can get, government funding, participant contributions, Some have care plans, grants, and I'm going to turn it over to talk to Justin a little bit more, maybe about some of our other funding and our government funding, and thank you.
Okay, well, funding is the issue with a lot of this. We only get so much money from the state through the GWAR program, and it just occurred to me, I cannot tell you what that stands for. Greater Wisconsin something, I'm not sure what, but basically it's the state agency that funnels federal funds down to programs like ours. But as Melissa said, we are a 501c3, we're a nonprofit, so we have to get funds from all different kinds of sources to keep operating. We, of course, lost some people at those sites because of COVID. People didn't want to come to the sites, reasonably so. The problem has been that a lot of them have enjoyed getting the meals at home, and so they stayed home. And we, through the funding from GWAR got the message that we are trying to increase socialization being also important for seniors, especially in rural areas where they're sometimes unable to get to town or see other people, and the meal delivery is sometimes the only person they see in a day. And it's very important. We try to get them to come to the site, of course, where they'd see more people and play cards and see their friends and talk to people, get the news, that sort of thing. But the state, of course, understands that the socialization is important, so they actually pay us more for the meals. They reimburse us more for the meals that people come to eat at the sites, and we get less funding for those meals that are home delivered. And those meals just keep skyrocketing. We keep getting more people that want to get the meals at home. Mineral Point's not had a dining site for some years. It used to be at City Hall. There was a senior center there. If you know anybody that would like to host a dining site in Mineral Point, that would be a big help, because we could really use one here. Second biggest city in the county, and we don't have a dining site. So the problem is we're getting less funding from the state as a result of the home delivered meals. So that's kind of hurting the program. It's very hard to make these ends meet when the cost of food goes up. Just about every month we get the financial report. Every month we do get the financial report from Melissa at the meetings, and we see that the cost of foods has gone up again. This is raw foods and contracted foods and different things, and we try to source locally when we can, and people donate things like meat and things. On occasion, organizations will donate, so that helps us out quite a bit. But there always seems to be, a lack of funding. But this is an important program, especially with the loss of the county nursing home. We can't let our seniors be neglected, as you all know, I'm sure, and support. And again, just to reiterate, this program provides nutritionally balanced meals. Our past director was a nutritionist. She made sure those menus were balanced. We are right now advertising for the job is open. We have an applicant being interviewed this week who is a nutritionist as well. It's not really required that they be a nutritionist, but we'd like to have a nutritionist, or else we sort of have to contract that service out to someone who can provide it, maybe from a hospital or another agency on a sort of part-time basis. But it'd be nice to have an in-house nutritionist to make sure those meals are balanced, which we've had all along. It provides socialization for seniors, as we've said. The sites have, before COVID, had, of course, had cards and speakers on occasion and music on occasion. And we hope to get that going again at some of the sites. It's sort of up to the site managers how they do that, but we encourage it, and they get together and talk about that. And of course, these wellness checks, it's not within the mission of the organization to provide the wellness checks. I don't think we can legally say that we do that, that the organization does that, but nonetheless they do. I mean, people who deliver the meals, of course, are there to see that person, make sure they see that person, and deliver that meal, make sure the meal gets to that person. And in doing that, of course, you'd see whether they're looking okay, or whether they're on their feet, or whether they have any problems, or they may even share that information. And we can get that information back to someone else, to whoever their emergency contact person is. And that's happened many times. It's not just that recent incident that Melissa talked about. That's very important for some of the people who are isolated in the rural areas. And it also, by doing all this, it keeps people in their homes longer, so they don't have to go to nursing homes, so they stay out of hospitals. They have that meal, and sometimes they'll get emergency meals, like if there's going to be a long weekend or a holiday weekend or something like that. They prepare a meal that is an extra meal. They can request that. So we're doing what we can, and got to keep this machine moving. It's a good thing, as you all know. So I want to correct one figure that Melissa gave. I understood that last year we served 54,000 meals. I think you had 50, and maybe it went down. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think we keep going up. So, and it's a good thing we do, because it's a great program. So, Melissa, I'll let you wrap up if you have more.
But I guess I would just thank you guys for letting us come in today and talk about the SUN program. It really is a good program. It helps a lot of people, and it's super important, but we could use some help.
And I should add, I'm reading off a black and white copy of what was a color copy of the annual appeal letter, which went out. Maybe some of you saw it. Went out about 2 weeks ago. We sent it out early this year because of our need for funds and trying to get that first thing on your table for these end-of-year appeals that everybody does get. Sending it out early, of course, also puts it at the risk of being at the bottom of the pile on your desk, as it does on mine anyway. Anyway, if you might look for that and consider donating to SUN. Thank you.
What's it take to be a site, a meal site? What's required in that?
Well, that's actually a good question. I'm not sure the full answer to that. It's been restaurants generally, and they must be able to provide the meals according to the menu.
Well, that's what I didn't know, if you bring in the meals and then serve it, or?
Well, it's been done both ways, depending on the site, depending on whether they have the availability to make the meals or not. Of course, our law enforcement center, the new law enforcement center in Dodgeville, is making meals now to replace the ones that Bloomfield used to make, and doing a terrific job, by the way. They stepped up very quickly, ramped up very quickly, and hired some people, and they are providing the meals for this area, and those get picked up there and brought here. So that could be done, yes. So it'd be just a place where people could meet, as they did at City Hall previously here.
Yeah, and that's something, if there is an interest in opening a new site, we would work with our state agency, the GWAR, and, find out exactly what we do need. And, but yeah, like Hidden Valley Church is our Dodgeville site. They just have the church kitchen there. The meals are brought in and divvied up and sent out on the routes, for the people. And then there are congregates that do eat there, and they just have to keep the kitchen clean.
So it would be doable if they weren't able to cook, you could bring in.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
If you allow them to do that.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Yes.
I saw on the news this week on Channel 27, they had a excerpt on the SUN program, and they were talking about, the meals and stuff, and I thought, well, gee, that sounds like Meals on Wheels. But, it was the same thing, the SUN program, and they, said how all the counties are trying to, make sure everybody has a healthy meal, and, we're watching out for the senior citizens and stuff.
Yeah.
And the first thing you wear is, how calling it the SUN program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the SUN program, I think that's exclusively us, isn't it? The
Yes,
SUN
it is.
program.
Yep.
Seniors United for Nutrition, it stands for. And that was chosen as a name, I believe, because they didn't want to say Meals on Wheels. They're entitled to say Meals on Wheels, but it's not just Meals on Wheels. So to differentiate it from that, which is a different, it is a national organization. And it's a good thing you brought that up, because one thing we should mention is that people are getting in the mail appeals for funds from Meals on Wheels America, which is in Virginia, and it doesn't help Iowa County. So, I hope people won't be confused by that. The SUN program is the one that serves this area, not the Meals on Wheels America, which is still a good program, but it doesn't help us so much.
We'll say Diane and Smitty there, they were doing it here in our church, and Devin and Mike are doing it, and I do it too. But every time you go there, they always thank you. That's really nice.
It's very rewarding to do it, to deliver meals, it is, yes.
Yes, we've heard that from many, many people. So we're very grateful.
Oh,
And there be funding through the county, and you get funding through the county where you serve?
Yes, I'm actually on the county board as well, and we provide county levy. What's required? We have county board members on there, and from the Lafayette County Board as well. And yes, both counties provide funding, but and that they're both increased in the next budget, from what I see in the preliminary figures. But it's never enough, you know. And of course, counties only have so much money; they have to divide many different ways for the highway and the sheriff's department, and everybody has to get considered in that small fund of money that every county gets. So the county does a good job funding what they can, but it doesn't cover all the bills, of course. Yep.
In Darlington, nursing home was making the meals, and the meals, I suppose, also went to the patients there, but it was, you know, they had the kitchen.
right, right. Yep,
Worked out real well. Don't
Yep.
know if they're still doing that.
yes, they are, yes. And they provide all the meals in for Darlington and for Argyle. Charlesburg cooks their own meals. Yeah.
And I may point out that in Lafayette County, the church delivers all the meals.
Great.
So in town, I guess, yeah. So they're set up a little differently than we are.
Well, thank you so much. It's a great program. and
Yeah.
appreciate the hard work that you all, you know,
Thank you so much.
Hope everyone here will keep in mind, tell your friends and neighbors about the program. Probably someone in your family has benefited from it, and keep it in mind as a charity to donate to if you can. So let's give a hand.